Aspetta, Quiede. Good evening. Welcome to the Old Bridge Township March 3rd, 2026 Old Bridge Council meeting. Please rise for a pledge of allegiance, remain standing for a moment of silence, and for our prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As customary, we stand for a moment in this chamber to remember those who are protecting our freedoms, both here and abroad, especially this evening. And for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, and for our first responders, a moment of silence, please. Our prayer, Mr. Pasquini.
Dear Lord, bless thy servants in the ministry of public affairs who serve you in this chamber. Give us quiet minds and hearts that we may hear your voice. Help us to know when to speak, when to be silent. Give us strength to oppose the wrong and uphold the right. And grant that we have a good conscience and a soul at peace with thee and with one another. Amen.
Amen. Please be seated.
Roll call, Council President.
Please.
Councilman Asatuli.
Yeah.
Councilman DePalma.
Here.
Councilman Desai. Let the record reflect Councilman Desai is absent. Councilman Merwin.
Present.
Councilman Pasquini.
Here.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Here.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Here.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli. Here. Council President Sohar.
Here.
This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice has been given to the official newspapers of the Township on January 8th, 2026, and has been posted in public places. Next open public meeting of the Township Council will be held on Tuesday, March 17th, 2026 at 7:30 p.m.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Welcome to the meeting. This evening, I'd like to start with someone coming up and giving us a little bit of an update from JCP&L. He is our representative, Mr. Ortiz, and our mayor. Good evening. Pleasure to have you here this evening.
Good evening. Thank you, council. Thank you, residents, for having me today. Just want to start off first by saying thank you to the township, to your PD, to your DPW, and the recent storm activities that we've had. You guys have had a great collaboration and partnership with JCP&L. We have successfully collaborated to try to ensure that we can restore power safely and quickly to residents. Sometimes we were out there in really difficult situations with your PD and DPW who assisted us with getting roads cleared so that our crews can make it out to some of these locations. Sorry for my voice. But ultimately, what this was a difficult, trying time, but it also demonstrates great collaboration between municipality and utility. So I want to echo my thanks so much to everybody here. Thank you to PD and DPW to working with me. We were able to really, really make a difference out here. And I hope that shows. Another point I would love to talk to you folks today about is another collaboration with JCP&L and Old Bridge. Here at the Municipal Plaza at the Civic Center on March 26th from 9:30 till 2:30, we are going to have an outreach event for the utility assistance programs that are offered by JCP&L. We will have staff here on site that will assist your residents in signing up to the USF, which is the Universal Service Fund. We'll assist with them with signing on, ensuring that they're able to sign on appropriately, and make sure that, A, they can get the services that are needed to help with the billing issues that are going around statewide. So I want to echo my thanks there as well for that collaboration. Thank you to Matt Mercario and Kristen Agumbaide from the Silver Linings facility. They will be assisting us through this event. I'm going to leave some flyers in the back in a table so that folks can have those. I will also send to your administration a digital copy. I would love if you would put it up on your webpage so that we can get and spread the word out to those folks in need. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak.
I want to thank Jose for coming tonight. I know this was a really bad storm, but having him
there. It was amazing. He kept in contact with us constantly, told us how many homes were out, when an expected return was, and it made it such a nice experience. And even beside the storm, he's been amazing. As you know, previously, we had a lot of trouble with JCP&L with our street lights being out. Since Jose has come on board, it's been like night and day for us. He's made a wonderful difference, and now he's promoting this program. I think he told me like $10 million had to be put back because people didn't claim it, and we don't want that to happen. There are a lot of people out there in need, and we want every person this is available for them to take advantage of it. So that's why we're going to publicize this, put it out as much as we can. But I wanted to personally thank Jose so much for what he did during this storm. It was a terrible storm, but he made it not as bad. I know, unfortunately, lights do go out, but they tried to get them back on, and they were well prepared, and I just want to thank him. And any of the council, if you could tell your residents about this program,
Yes,
you know, we
absolutely.
want people to take advantage of this.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for coming. We really do appreciate the communication that you've opened up for all of us. And I will be sending it out through my HOA connection, which reaches several of the, the homeowners associations. I mean, quite a few, maybe 30. And this way, we will bring it out there that this is available and when it's going to be held. And this way, hopefully, we'll get, a lot of people, as many as possible, to come.
Yes, and I will echo, based off the response that we have at our first event, we will sign on to do more events in the very recent
Yeah,
future.
there's a need right now,
If
more
if
than
there's a
ever.
need, we want to make sure it's
Yeah,
answered.
Yeah,
Correct.
more than ever.
We're on board
So
with you
it's
there.
appreciated.
So we will partner.
Yep. Okay, thank you very much.
You're very
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Ortiz? Nope. Okay. Well, thank you again for coming. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate. Have a great night. Thank you, sir. All right, budget items. Resolution approving calendar year 2026 budget introduction in the total appropriation amount of $79,446,817. Good evening. God, it was so much. Can we just keep
Good evening, council. Tonight, we have the introduction of the budget. I just want to thank Dawn and Vicky for all their hard work, as well as Anna. She put a lot of hours in. This takes a whole year. Like, after we pass the budget in April, hopefully, we're going to begin next year's budget. It takes all year, and they put a lot of work in it, and I want to thank them for all their hard work.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. We are here tonight to present the proposed budget for the coming fiscal year. This budget was developed under particularly challenging conditions, including unprecedented increases in health insurance costs, rising utility and fuel expenses, higher pension and liability insurance contribution, recycling disposal costs, and contractual obligations. In addition, the township continues to face increased costs related to materials, professional services, technology, and regulatory compliance. Together, these pressures significantly impacted our operating environment and required careful, deliberate planning to ensure we remain fiscally responsible while continuing to deliver reliable services to our residents. In response, the administration conducted a thorough line-by-line review of the budget. Working closely with our department directors and our finance team, we identified efficiencies and made strategic reductions where possible, always with the goal of preserving the level of service our residents expect and deserve. Through collaboration and thoughtful decision-making, we were able to close budget gaps without compromising performance or essential services. This budget reflects our commitment to fiscal responsibility and transparency and stewardship of taxpayer resources while continuing to meet the needs of our community. We look forward to working with the council throughout the review process, and we hope that you will work with us. Thank you.
All right, good evening. Tonight, we are asking council to introduce the budget. As the mayor and Anna had indicated, our budget process for departments began in August. For finance, it's usually a year-round event. We held department meetings in October of 2025 and then a second round in January of 2026. I want to especially thank Vicky Carey. I finally got her up to the table here.
Oh, that's right, I just noticed.
Yes. Maybe I'll have her doing the presentation next year. But it's important that we take care of our financial planning early so departments can operate and be able to make decisions in a timely fashion. So for the 2026 municipal budget, the total general appropriations, excluding the municipal library, is $75,032,942 compared to $69,971,697 in the 2025 budget as modified. The proposed tax rate for municipal purposes for 2026 is estimated to be 1.055, which reflects a 2.43% increase over 2025. For the average home in Old Bridge, assessed at $158,052, there is a proposed municipal tax increase annually of $39. It's important to note that employee-related costs in the budget, salaries, benefits, Social Security, pension, comprise over 61% of the budget. The 2025 budget includes funding for one new full-time position, a police officer, a patrol officer in the police department. As Anna indicated, we've seen significant increases, not just this year, but in recent years in both health and liability insurance, pension costs. We're still the recycling contract, which began in April of 2025. We'll be seeing the full effects of the increase this year. And also utility costs are rising, electric, gas, and also now the unknown with fuel costs. I know yesterday or over the weekend, gas was like $2.75. This morning I saw Wawa at $3.15. So that's always a big unknown in the budget. The Township Administration has scheduled budget subcommittee workshops for March 11th, March 18th, and March 24th. They'll be held at 6 p.m. in room 201 on the second floor of this building. At these meetings, the budget's discussed in greater detail. We go line by line through the budget. The meeting dates and times will be posted on the Township website, and they are open to the public. Formal presentation and public hearing will occur at the April 7th council meeting. And the budget documents towards the end of the week or early next week will be available for review both online through our website, also in the library, finance, and clerk's office. Just quickly, especially for new council people, the appropriation cap and the tax levy cap that we have to adhere to. The tax levy cap requires each municipality to limit the local government unit's amount to be raised by taxation to no more than 2% over the prior year's levy, with specific exceptions for health benefits, pensions, LoSAP, capital improvements, and debt service. For 2026, we are under the tax levy cap by $1,181,314. The second cap is the appropriation cap. On tonight's agenda is the cap index ordinance, which really its purpose is for two things. The first is it allows the township to increase their final appropriations subject to the cap to the statutorily permitted 3.5%. For 2026, the automatic increase to the cap bank that the division allowed was 2%. The second part of the ordinance, it allows the township to bank the difference between the final budget appropriations subject to cap and the cost of living adjustment when the difference is not appropriated in the final budget. So for 2026, we are under the appropriation cap by only $32,315.75. As you can imagine, trying to keep to a 2% or a 3.5% cap when costs of everything is going up is very difficult. And the appropriation cap is definitely a statewide issue now, is becoming. And then finally, on tonight's agenda is also a bond ordinance for general improvements. Details of the projects were provided to you tonight. A presentation on capital will also be at the April 7th meeting with public hearing and adoption of the ordinance. And this allows us to go out to bid earlier than other municipalities and hopefully secure better pricing. So tonight, we're asking council to introduce the budget so we can keep this process moving. And remember, it's just an introduction, not an adoption. You know, we understand you just got this tonight. You'll have time to mill it through, and subcommittee meetings, and then the presentation on April 7th.
What are the dates of some committee?
March 11th, the 18th, and the 24th. I believe calendar invites were sent out, or,
Have any questions for Dawn? Okay, well, thank you very much. All right. We appreciate all the time that it takes to come up with, and formulate the budget. It's a lot of work, and it takes time, and we appreciate all the hard work that goes into it. It's not something taken lightly. It has a lot of, impact on people, and I really think it shows a lot of concern for the residents when you do it the way you guys have been, doing this budget. So thank you very much for all the care that you've given, to the residents. Thank you.
Can we have a motion to approve the resolution, the budget introduction resolution?
Move it.
Moved by Councilman DePalma, second by Councilman Von Stetten. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilman DePalma?
Yes.
Councilman Merwin? Yes. Councilman Pasquitti?
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli?
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
8 yeses.
Next is resolution approving the governing body certification of compliance with, I'm sorry. Resolution authorizing calendar year 2026 budget, I should know by now, to be read by title only at public hearing.
Moved by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Councilman Asatuli. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilman DePalma?
Yes.
Councilman Merwin? Councilman Pasquitti?
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli?
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli? Yes. And Council President Sohar?
Yes.
8 yeses.
Resolution approving the governing body certification of compliance with the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's enforcement guidance on the consideration of arrest and conviction records in employment decisions under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Move it.
Moved by Councilman Pasquitti. Second, please. Second by Councilman Von Stetten. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquitti.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
8 yeses.
Ordinance establishing the municipal budget appropriation limits and cap bank, NJSA 40A: 4-45.14 for the calendar year 2026.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Pasquitti, second by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin. Councilman Pasquitti.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli. Council President Sohar.
Yes.
Public hearing set for March 17th, 2026.
Bond ordinance approving an appropriation of $4,500,000 for various improvements in and by the Township of Old Bridge in the County of Middlesex New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $4,274,700 bonds on notes of the township for financing part of the appropriation.
Move it.
Moved by Councilman Pasquini, seconded by Councilman Asatuli. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
Public hearing set for April 7th, 2026.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, ladies. Very appreciated. Approval of minutes, resolution approving the regular combined council meeting minutes of December 16th, 2025.
Move it.
Madam President, just before you go.
Yes.
I should have mentioned last meeting, for those members of the council who are not seated, you can vote as long as you read the minutes.
Right.
Just make sure that you read the minutes.
Thank you. Yes, yes.
Move it.
Right, as long as you know what happened.
Went through it.
Moved by Councilman Pasquini,
Second.
second by Councilman DePalma. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin.
Abstain.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Abstain.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Abstain.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yeses.
Next will be our bill list. Councilman DePalma.
Yes, bill list as of March 3rd, 2026. Accounts payable, March 3rd, 2026, $900,026.46. Payroll, February 27th, 2026, $1,284,318.10. And payroll overtime, February 27th, 2026, $39,347.77.
Okay, thank you. Anna, can you give us a breakdown of the overtime, please?
Yes, for the February 27th payroll, there was no major upticks. The sworn police overtime for that payroll was $22,943.86. Deduct grants, $7,824.04. Deduct ETO, $2,449.60 for a total of $12,670.22. And we currently have one officer on light duty and one injured on duty. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Councilman Pasquini, second by Councilman Von Stetten. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin. Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
8 yeses.
Okay, next will be consent agenda. I'd like a motion and a second, and then I'll.
Second.
Moved by Councilman
Rizzoli?
Rizzoli, second by Councilman Pasquini. Roll call, Councilman,
I
I'm
need
sorry,
Separations, please.
separations. Councilman Asatuli.
No, thank you.
Councilman DeCaro. I'm
No.
sorry.
The carrot.
Woohoo! Councilman DePalma,
C2.
C2. Councilman Merwin,
C1.
C1. Councilman Pasquini,
C4.
C4. Councilman Rizzoli,
None, thank you.
Councilman Von Stetten,
None, thank you.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli,
No, thank you.
and Council President Sohar.
Nope, nothing left. Nope. Okay. Well, really, there's not much to say at that point. There's one left. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we're gonna, we have a motion and a second. We're gonna go for C3.
Move it.
Moved by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Councilman Von Stetten. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli. Yes. Council President Sohar.
Yes. Okay, next will be C1, Miss Councilman Merwin.
Well, you're right. Well, it is. So basically what this is that there, I'll call it, these are my terms. With respect to the SEGME overall, there was a redevelopment plan there was a singular redevelopment agreement, and then there was a singular financial agreement. And the entity with which the redevelopment agency had the redevelopment agreement and the township had the financial agreement, was, what's the name? Bear with me, it's in a resolution. Yeah, I know, exactly, no kidding, right? You know what, actually, it was in the resolution. But it was a SEGME URE, because you have to have, and I don't have the name in front of me. And then in discussing and negotiating with them what the I'll call it the parent corporation, so to speak, is doing, is that you'll see that each of the lot owners are separate, and they're identified in the resolution. And what I advise and what I wanted to do is that each of the lot owners are converted to a URE, which is an urban renewal entity, which is required under the long-term tax exemption law. And so that each of the redevelopment agreement and the redevelopment agency already voted on it is going to be assigned for that particular lot owner and URE, because they're going to own that warehouse, so to speak, right? There's a couple of them that'll own multiple warehouses. There's 9 separate buildings, basically. And then the financial agreement for each is also being assigned to those individual lot owner UREs. Those types of transfers were contemplated by the redevelopment agreement and the financial agreement. And then it sets up, it's actually a lot easier for the municipality and actually the property owner, because you have, for instance, you'll have one warehouse that'll have its own financial, its own redevelopment agreement, and it's easier to track. The parent company, so to speak, doesn't get resolved or doesn't get absolved from its obligation unless and until all the individual lots or projects are conveyed out, and ultimately that's what's going to happen. That is going to be for all 9, and then right. I think there's 5 that we have COs for, Anna. Yes. Right. So there's 5 that COs are issued, and for those 5 for the COs are issued, the township is going to commence receiving the payments under the financial agreement that I think they were issued in January. Yes. Right. So they'll be beginning the first quarter 2026. Thank you. SEGME Old Bridge GC Urban Renewal LLC. Thank you. And it's nice and big, so I can read it and highlight it.
Unless you want to wear my glasses.
That's right. So that's the parent company. So that's a way for us to, and then for the redeveloper to keep on control of all the different projects. It allows us, from a maintenance point of view, to keep track of each of the individual buildings as well. And again, it's kind of unique because it's the overall project is larger, but we're moving forward. So that's what this is. Yep. Yes. And we have been getting the regular taxes correct, right? So, any other questions?
Anybody else?
No, I'll move it if nobody else has
Okay.
Moved by Councilman Merwin.
Second.
Second by Councilman Rizzoli. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
8 yeses.
C2, Councilman DePalma.
Yes. Anna, I just had a quick question specifically on, I know we're using grant money as well as capital money. I just wanted to separate it just to kind of highlight how the grants that we have and what we're using them for. If you could just kind of highlight those for us.
Yep. So just a little bit of a background on the body cameras. We had a 5-year contract with the current company that we were using. Their contract was up at the end of is up September 1st of this year. So since last September, I've been working with the police department to go out and find a new system, better technology. I actually have Lieutenant Mustachio here, and he can show you the difference just also in the body cameras, the size of them, and things like that. If Lieutenant would like to come up.
Vanna White?
So part of,
Can you?
so as, So we also, one of the things that I appreciated the police department doing is when we were testing out these different companies, they actually gave it to the patrol officers because they're the one that would be wearing it. So this is really a team collaboration in making those decisions to make sure that it served the officers in the best way. As Councilman De Palma indicated, this resolution and this, the body cameras is going to be partially funded by grant money and capital money. So we had received in 2024 a technology grant through the federal government for close to $1.2 million, I want to say. And with that money, we had done several projects throughout the town, throughout the police department, upgrades of our antennas for dispatch, and all those different things. And part of that money was also for the body cameras. So out of the $497,000, $440,000 is going to be covered. I'm sorry, $440,000 is covered by the grant. And the difference was money from capital that we had left. So keep in mind, this is just for the hardware. This is going to be the hardware that Lieutenant Mustachio showed you, as well as the ones that go in the vehicles. It's also going to be for the routers and the antennas that are going to be required for all this. So this takes care of all the hardware. In May, I'll come back to you guys with another resolution for the yearly cost of the software. They have provided us $106,000 yearly annual cost, and we could renew it for up to 5 years at no increase per year. So we'll see how the first year goes, and after 5 years, we're still happy. They will give us brand new cameras in 5 years also for us to keep, whether we stay with them or not. So that was part of the contract we negotiated, and this was a big effort by Chief Montagna, Captain Sneak, Captain McCauley, Lieutenant Doctors first started the process with us at the time, and then Lieutenant Mustachio and Sergeant Krasinski also took over more recently with this. So this obviously is a big purchase. We wanted to make sure we did the right thing for our police department, and it's important to show how this was funded. So sorry for the long-winded answer.
Oh, no, that's,
No,
thank you.
I think 440,000 out of 497, that's great, thank you. Anna. No one has anything, I'll move it.
Okay,
Moved by Councilman De
Second.
Palma. Second by Councilman Pasquitti. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman De Palma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquitti.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
yes.
8 yeses.
Okay, next will be C4, Councilman Pescitti.
Yes. This is for the attorney, I guess. The Housing Authority of Old Bridge has approximately $60,000 in their affordable housing fund, and they can't expend that money unless it's in the spending plan. Now, I talked to Kenny about it last week, and he said he was going to talk to you about it. Is that included in here?
So this has nothing to do with the spending plan. It has to do with the fact that we have deadlines dealing with the affordable housing program that have to be met, and the housing element and fair share plan that we've been dealing with objectors. So what this one of the requirements under the program that was implemented under the new law was that certain deadlines had to be met, primarily that towns had to have a housing element and fair share plan adopted by March 15th, 2026, moved to the 16th because the 15th is a Sunday. The town, as we've discussed before, had various challengers. The town settled with a couple of those challengers, and so the program member, which is a retired judge, made certain recommendations to the affordable housing judge, Judge McCloskey, approving the settlements and also approving giving the town temporary, I'll call temporary compliance and continued immunity based upon the town continuing to negotiate certain of the challengers and also to take certain actions, take certain actions. Primarily, they have to adopt the housing element and fair share plan by March 15th, and the planning board's going to do that. And then after that, there was the program member and the judge afforded the town additional time to adopt any type of enforcing resolutions and ordinances that are going to come after that, because we wouldn't be able to get them done by March 15th, March 16th, in light of the challenges and the complexity of our housing element. So with this and so one of the requirements that the program said was that the town can either adopt the housing element and it's the enforcing resolutions and ordinance, or to the extent that there's not enough time for them to comply with that deadline, have the council adopt a resolution committing to adopting all the enabling resolutions and ordinances. That's what this does.
Right, thank you very much for that explanation, and I'll move it if there's no other questions.
Moved by Councilman Pasquini, second by Councilman DePalma. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilman DePalma?
Yes.
Councilman Merwin? Councilman Pasquini?
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli?
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
8 yeses.
Report of the township clerk,
I have no report, Council President.
report of the township attorney.
I can tell you what I did last week after I left the meeting, but I won't bore you with the details. No report, Madam President.
Okay. All right, thank you. Administrative report, Anna.
Yes, thank you. I just have one item.
Not on tonight.
The Township of Old Bridge will hold a public hearing to discuss and consider the Township's Community Development Block Grant Fiscal Year 2026 Annual Action Plan. The Community Development Grant allocation for fiscal year 2026 is estimated to be similar to the 2025 allocation, which was $360,622. A public hearing will be held on March 26, 2026 at 3 p.m. at the Old Bridge Township Administration Building located at 1 Old Bridge Plaza, Old Bridge, New Jersey, 08857, in the second floor conference room 217. This public hearing is being scheduled in the initial stages of the development of the annual plan. The information received from interested persons at the hearing will assist the Township Administration and Township Council in the preparation of the 2026 annual plan for the period of from July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. The hearing is designed to obtain residents' views and to respond to proposals and questions. The hearing will address housing, community, and economic development needs, development of proposed activities, and review of program performance. And this concludes my report.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Anna? Okay, I'll take a motion to
Second.
report.
Moved by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Councilman DePalma. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilman DePalma?
Yes.
Councilman Merwin? Councilman Pasquini?
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli?
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
8 yeses.
Next will be public comment on any subject matter for a maximum period of 3 minutes.
A motion to enter open?
Move it.
Moved by Councilman DePalma, second by Councilman Pasquini. All in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none. The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. This section is open for any topic or items in the consent agenda. In accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the Old Bridge Rules of Council, the council asks the public to limit their comments to 3 minutes or less. Only one member of the public shall approach to speak to council at a time. The council will respect the public's time by refraining from any comment until the speaker is finished with their allotted time. Should be further noted that the public comment portion of our meeting is not structured as a question and answer session. If a member of the public has questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made with the corresponding department's office during regular business hours. Township clerk will regulate the time during the comment portion of our meeting. As you approach the microphone, please state your name, no addresses.
Good evening. My name is Ruth. I've lived in Old Bridge nearly 37 years, and I spoke to Mr. Ortiz when he walked out, but last Monday, I live in Oakwood Development, and our power went out around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I had a 6-month-old baby with me, my grandson, and a 4-year-old, and it was getting cold, and we looked online, and it said 1 hour My husband left, and 1 hour later, our power went back on. So it was the first time, and usually JCP&L says an hour, and it's 4 hours. So I thought you'd like to know that. I do have a question. I know you said not to ask questions. Is our fiscal year the same as a calendar year for budget? No answer? Okay, thank you.
Yes, your calendar.
It is the calendar year, thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening, council members. My name is Hardik Bhatt, Old Bridge. I want to address the statements made regarding the lot line warehouse application and the time of application rule last meeting. We've been told that the lot 9 and the surrounding areas have remained industrial since 2006, and that the redevelopment designation at the time was reviewed and deemed appropriate. But if that designation was effectively locked in, then how was the large-scale residential construction later approved and in the same corridor? Many of our properties were rezoned from SD3 industrial to R5 residential in 2024. That proves zoning in the area has changed. So when we are told that it has remained industrial, this is at best an incomplete explanation. Let's talk about completeness. Under NJSA 4055D 10.3, an application is deemed complete only after required submission of agency reviews are provided. Yet, we have seen substantial revisions on as recently as December 12th, 2025, new traffic studies, revised site plans, and now a lot line adjustment. If a plan continues to change, report continues to revise, and site configurations continue to shift, then claiming that this is a fixed, protected application under an earlier time of application determination strains credibility. We contacted NJDEP directly and were told that there are no pending applications associated with this site. If outside agency review is required, then that discrepancy deserves a public explanation. Repeated opera requests have been either delayed or denied. That does not build trust. When explanation conflicts with observed facts, the public begins to question whether the rules are being applied consistently or selectively. This community is not uninformed. We are reading the state statutes. We are contacting state agencies, and we are documenting timelines. If council believes it cannot discuss this application, then it must immediately review the broader redevelopment framework governing this corridor, so that 2025 realities, not 2006 assumptions, drive policy. Because when the public sees shifting explanations and denied transparency, confidence erodes, and once confidence erodes, rebuilding it is much harder. Thank you.
Council President, I just wanted to comment. This gentleman did submit, for the record, this gentleman did submit an OPA request, and we are working diligently to get together the information he requested. We did ask for a clarification based on whose emails he was requesting copies of, and we're still waiting for a final clarification from the applicant.
Okay, but you are pursuing it, and
It's been forwarded to the departments to gather the information.
okay. All right. No, just want to make sure. That's good. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else in the audience who wishes to be heard this evening? Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Council President, Kylie Deneen. I wanted to thank you from last meeting. The clerk did reach out to me about the sidewalk issue, and I appreciate that, and being put into touch with the township engineer, so I appreciate that. I did want to come here to speak tonight about the, I'm sure you saw the police video camera with the zoning board member, Patricia Testaverde. I think there gets to a point with any single person that you have on a board where they become a problem child at times. And the way to deal with that, I don't think, is to continue to empower that person to make you look bad and to make the town look bad. And there's a way to handle things and there's a way to not handle things. And I do not like the way that she was speaking to that officer. I did not like the assumptions that she was making about people's immigration status. And just as I didn't like when she was ripping out pride flags on this municipal property. And, I know that there is also a police report. I believe that there was a police report filed that she spit on a resident also inside of this municipal complex. And it's just trashy. And trashy does not make our town look good. And I hope you seriously consider we're a town of almost 70,000 people. There is no shortage of people that you could put in place that will behave in a way that won't bring more controversy to this town. I just don't think it's necessary. Besides that, with everything that's going on in the news, I just wanted to know, and this is not just in this town, but all towns, what is the training that our police officers receive in terms of counterterrorism? Because we unfortunately in New Jersey are a hotbed for, we saw several years ago the incident with the trash cans. I'm very concerned about any backlash. I mean, we're a hotbed, not just in terms of that kind of targeting, but as the most highly densely populated state in a major metropolitan area, a whole lot of things. But I just want to make sure that our police officers are going to be adequately prepared, or if they are already, to be able to address anything that may come up in our local community about that. And I assume that's probably through some state partnership or county partnership or along those lines. But yes, thank you so much.
Good evening, Nina Joknowitz. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Taking on what Kyler just spoke about, 5 years ago, I came to the council chambers and I was actually speaking after the meeting to one of the council persons over here. It's actually 4 years ago, sorry, because they were on the council 4 years ago. And a person came up from behind and grabbed me by the shoulders. I told them to stop. Mr. Rizzoli saw it. Not this Rizzoli, yeah, you get it. And I didn't even know the person's name. As a matter of fact, I had to get the name from the clerk, right? But as I was walking out, after she grabbed me and I told her not to touch me ever again, and I could go through that exact conversation, but it's not necessary, she spit on my son 3 times. So my son is 16 years old at the time, and I'm sure everybody on this dais would be completely mortified, although it's been told to you already once before. I went to the police, made a report. 2 years later, Pride celebration, she came to disturb it, to disrupt it, broke our flags, grabbed our flags, threw them into the garbage can, and screamed really derogatory things at the individuals who were at the celebration. And then came in here and had a speech made, which, by the way, you had to beep at the very end because she cursed. Yeah, you're smiling because you remember too. There was a police report made then. There was another police report made by another gentleman who was also spit on in these council chambers. He was sitting in the back row over here because she spit on him as well. That would have been picked up by your new cameras because you didn't have cameras back then. Now, I asked you guys 4 years ago when she assaulted me and then spit on my son to take a hard look at this and question whether or not that person really needs to be on a very important committee in this town. You guys said you'd already made a decision at the time. I know, you remember. This is a problem. We have a police Oprah event where she obviously lost her cool once again, threatening to call ICE not once but twice on the staffers for the tree company, who is a registered licensed tree company in this town. There was at least one council person on the phone at the time. It's all in the video. And the person's name could be spoken. I could say it, but it's not important. What's most important is that we have really good people in the town. 70,000 people in the town. I'm sure that there's at least a good handful, I don't care what party they're in, that could be on the zoning board and quite honestly understand the laws and the regulations. The same with, of course, planning, every board, which brings us to another question. Why don't you guys have a checkbox as to what their qualifications are? Is a police officer, no disrespect, by the way, to retired officers, I want to make sure of that. Why is a sergeant the choice
That's your
for
time,
zoning?
Nina. That's your time, Ms. Chuck. No, it's not.
Thank you.
Apologize.
Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to be heard this evening? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for a motion to close public.
Second.
Greenberg, Belli. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we're now closed to public comment portion.
Now we'll go to council comments.
Councilman Asatuli.
I just have one thing. To our 6 fallen heroes, may they rest in peace, and may God continue to watch over your families and our troops here and abroad. Thank you.
Councilman DePalma.
Thank you, Kate. Just wanted to give a congratulations to a few of our Old Bridge High School family members in town for their awards at the Bill Denny Rutgers Letter Football chapter. First, Coach Matt Donahue of the Old Bridge High School football team for Coach of the Year for Middlesex County. Athletic Director Dan Domino. Athletic Director Dan Domino for Educator of the Year. And importantly, our Old Bridge quarterback, Brody Nugent, who got the Scholar Athlete for Old Bridge. It's also to note for Brody, he will be staying home. Apparently, he will be playing football at Monmouth University. So, as a former adjunct of Monmouth, welcome. And I know that our football team at Monmouth is getting not only a great football player, but also a great individual as well. So, congratulations to all of you. Also, I want to thank all the residents. This past weekend, we had a closure of Route 516. For those who drove by it all last week, we had a ton of water at the bottom of it. We had 2 collapsed pipes that had to be replaced. Not ideal. So thank you, everybody, for bearing with the detours as well as the few-day outage. I will say they got it done fairly quickly, so thanks to Middlesex County, the engineers, as well as thank OEM and Anna for the coordination of it. I know there's a lot that goes into that. Thankfully, it was only 1-day disruption for going to school. I know my oldest daughter was excited. She was late for homeroom. She wasn't as late as she could be for math, but thankfully, it was only 1 day. That roadway is so heavily used, especially coming through in the morning for high school. For all those folks going up, I know it backs almost up to Cottrell sometimes. So just thank you to all the residents for your patience in that, and thankfully it got resolved quickly. And then finally, just God bless our troops overseas, as well as to all those that are overseas in path of that conflict. No one wants to see any death or anything like that, but hopefully everyone going forward is safe. Thank you.
Councilman Merwin.
Yes. I had the privilege today to read to the kindergarten, first grade special ed class at Memorial School. It was a pleasure. Their attention span was about 3.2 seconds. They were great little kids. And they all gave me a little hug afterwards, so it was well worth my time there. Mark, the attorney, we'll get that, maybe that's what we'll say. Mark the attorney or Mark the councilman. Last week I had asked a question about the veteran preference housing and stuff. Can you tell us, and I don't mean right now, can you tell us where we're advertising and everything? Because evidently there's some disconnect. We're not getting the veterans to
I'll check with Rich Truslow. He was actually here, and their folks, because I know, like I said, we had a long conversation with them, ensuring that they get as much information out there. But I'll check with them to see where they put out.
But just
I'll let-
myself and
Yep.
and Councilman Asatuli, all right?
Yep, yeah, no problem.
And Case, or, yeah, I think it's under you now, right? The beachfront. Hey, the lights are out. When you go into the parking lot down at the beachfront in Lawrence Harbor behind Hoffman's there, when you get right to the very end along the boardwalk area, there's craters. All right, if you could get that taken care of. People that use it every day are taking a hit there. Thank you. That's it.
Councilman Pasquity.
I just want to thank the Finance Department for another year, another budget. Appreciate it. Good job.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes, thank you. Mark, I saw that video. That video is disgusting. No police officer should have to be talked to like that. I don't want to repeat the things that were said. Once again, we have a board member who's blatant misconduct. She should be removed from the board immediately. That should be unacceptable. You want to have freedom of speech, that's fine, but don't be on a zoning board. I mean, the things that were said to those police officers, and I just want to, my compliments to them for being so professional. Their professionalism was extraordinary. But I don't think any cop should have to endure that. Like I said, I'm not going to repeat what was said. Whoever, you're free to watch the video, but I think she should be removed from the zoning board immediately. Let's have some damn respect for our cops. Quite honestly, watching that video really pissed me off. For someone who claims they were a former cop, you talk about breaking the code. If you really want on the street, you want to talk to another street cop like that. So extend courtesy, extend professionalism. But I think she should be told to resign from the board immediately. And God bless our troops. That flag represents everyone. Sacrifices made by the brave. Thank you.
Councilman Von Stetten.
I'm going to be pretty short today. Again, prayers for our troops overseas. No one wants to see anybody, perish like that, and just pray for their families. And thank you all that you spoke today. Appreciate it. And that's it.
Council Vice President, Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes. I always say there's three sides to every story. So with that, the main issue is that I pray for world peace, and may our service members be protected, and hopefully they come home safe. Thank you.
Council President Sohar.
Yes, I think this evening our thoughts are with everyone that is affected by this conflict. And we all pray in our, whatever way we pray, that this is going to be something that is going to come to resolution, and the sooner the better. My husband was a veteran, so I understand the, feelings that these families have. So God be with everyone, and everyone have a good evening. Motion to adjourn?
Council Vice President, Dr. Greenberg Belli. Who's second? Councilman Von Stetten. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin. Yes. Councilman Pasquity.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President, Dr. Greenberg Belli. Council Vice President, yes? Yes. Council President Sohar. Yes. 8 yeses. Adjourned at 8:29 p.m.